Hello again, and this is another one of my reviews, film reviews, and this time it's on Where Eagles Dare. Alistair MacLean wrote this now famous story, and Richard Burton and Clint Eastwood lead the mission to go where eagles dare. BBC One announcer, Saturday 28th of May 1983. On Wednesday, the 26th of December 1979, being Boxing Day, my family and I watched an action-packed war film that starred Richard Burton and Clint Eastwood. We were glued to our new colour TV set as the action unfolded before our very eyes. For the next 2.5 hours, both Burton and Eastwood took on the German army to rescue a captured American general and expose traitors in British intelligence. We enjoyed this film so much that we could not wait to see it again the next time it was on television. The film was Where Eagles Dare. It was one of a number of films that has dominated my life since that Christmas of 1979. I was 10 years old at the time. In late May 1983, when it was shown by the BBC for a third time, I recorded it on our new VCR, video cassette recorder. It was one of the first films that I had on videotape at the start of my video collection. The opening titles were the captured German military passenger plane and the dramatic scenery of the Bavarian Alps, which is helped along with Ron Goodwin's dramatic and tense music score, makes the whole scene for me exciting and breathtaking. You can see the tension on the faces of the men who know that they are on a suicide mission. It shows such good acting that you feel sympathy with the characters and what they are going through. The flashback episode where they are told what their mission will be is played out brilliantly. It's like a class at night school with the late Patrick Weinmark giving a lecture in combat missions. His acting is so calm and relaxed, he dominates the other actors in that scene. When the commandos parachute in Bavaria looks so cold and bleak, it makes me feel cold just watching it. The high pine trees and snowy wastes give the landscape an eerie and frightening feel about it. Plus the way it is shot by the cameraman is excellent photography. Both Richard Burton and Clint Eastwood dominate the film. Two very different actors with different styles of acting and different personalities. But they gel together as a good working partnership. Both of them are backed up by the two ladies of the film, being Mary Ure and Ingrid Pitt. The two ladies give the film, in my opinion, sex appeal. The shots of the mountaintop castle where the plot of the film takes place are breathtaking to say the least. It dominates the Bavarian landscape like some huge monster waiting to crush whatever is in its way. A frightening and evil complex of a building, a place you would not like to live in. It is destroyed in the end by the skill and expertise of our heroes. In its path is the small Bavarian town where the climax of the film takes place. At the start of the film, the town is a busy, innocent environment. Then, when the climax of the action takes place, the town is left in ruins. A whole environment destroyed within 24 hours. The best cameo role in the film is played by John Heller as a pompous German officer who disapproves of Richard Burton's behaviour towards Ingrid Pitt. In reality, both Richard Burton and Ingrid Pitt are playing a game of cat and mouse to fool the Germans. John Heller's character is a good example of being a victim of their deception. The difference between Where Eagles Dare and The Guns of Navarone is the environment. As you know, I wrote an analysis of The Guns of Navarone some months back, which is on my YouTube channel. The country in Where Eagles Dare is cold, icy and full of snow, whereas in The Guns of Navarone it is warm and at times hot, but then it is set in the Mediterranean. Both were best-selling novels written by Alistair MacLean. They're also worth reading because, like the two films, they're very good. I recommend the two books by Alistair MacLean. The suspense in this film is very much in the realms of a Hitchcock thriller. The build-up of the action is very tense, especially the action scene set on the cable car, which dominates the film. For me, the cable car is the real star of the film. The best action and fight scenes take place on that silver metal window box being suspended in air by a long thick cable. The best fight scene takes place on the roof of the cable car. It is when Burton has to defend himself from two of the heavies from killing him. It results in the violent deaths of Donald Houston and Peter Barkworth. Then Burton jumps onto another cable car after he destroyed the other one. Every time I go on a cable car now, that scene, after it always comes into my mind. That is how powerful and effective a fight scene in a film can have on a person, whatever their age. Now, it certainly did with me. The only laughable scene in the film, and I think a lot of people would agree with me, which is so silly, is when Richard Burton kindly asks a young German lieutenant for a cigarette. The actor playing the German officer speaks with a genuine Scottish accent. It's such a bad piece of casting that it makes the German actors in the film look and sound just as good as Richard Burton and Clint Eastwood. Well, they are good anyway. There are some good performances from the supporting cast, and it is a very powerful supporting cast indeed. Both Anton Dithrin and Donald Houston have the best lines in the film, which makes their acting the best ever seen in any film that was made in the 1960s. Their performances are of the same calibre as Richard Burton's. They play their characters with total ruthlessness and charm. It is good to see Michael Hordern cast against type as a British naval admiral. He plays it with wit and authority. The best out of them all is the villain in this film being Darren Nesbitt, a womanising, arrogant Gestapo officer, a man who has got a strong Jekyll and Hyde personality. He is every inch a Machiavellian, a man who is so centred and ruthless he'll go to any lengths to get what he wants. It is one of the best pieces of acting that Darren Nesbitt has given in his career in film and television. When the villains get killed, they all have a dramatic and violent death, but they die well on screen, and it does create a memorable image for the audience. 40 years after I first saw it, and over 35 years since I recorded it on videotape, this film has never left my possession within my soul. All in all, a boy's own adventure made for the big screen. It is worth watching when you have nothing to do on a boring Friday or Saturday night. And I personally agree with that. It's pure escapism, great action adventure, and real good fun.